Hello everyone, my name is Sarah Wyman Grover. I am an author and tarot enthusiast. I write under the name S.L. Wyman. Currently working on my first novel. It's finished, just needs to be edited. It's called The Obsidian Gate, and at some point I'm going to make videos more talking about that because my goal is to have it, second round done by the end of this year. Hopefully have it in condition for an actual professional editing with the red line and everything. So wish me luck. But anywho, we're not here to discuss that. We're actually here to talk a little bit more about tarot. And I'll get to that more in a minute. If you're new to the channel, welcome. And if you're coming back, welcome back. I really appreciate every single one of you tuning into this crazy little firestorm of nerdiness that is my channel and randomness. So, what I'm here to talk about today is a deck study that I am going to be leading starting next week on the Abundant Life Tarot Facebook group, which is run by Kim from Abundant Life Tarot. If you have not checked out her videos on YouTube or checked into her Facebook group, please do. Kim is a very, very sweet person. And she has wonderful energy, and she has a wonderful, safe, supportive community there. And I'm really looking forward to doing this. I had intended to do this as part of the new year in January, but January was, we won't even get into it. And then I wound up doing a whole series of 12-hour shifts, pretty much all the way through February. So I was a little too burned out to start it. And I know this is kind of already into the month, but weekends are unfortunately the only time I can film. So this is going to be a once to twice a week kind of thing. And I'm basically going to kind of run you through what I would like to talk about, and just to give you guys an idea of if this might be something you're interested in following along with. To keep in mind, I'm still learning a lot of technology. I'm not real great with it, so we're going to have to figure out how exactly I want to do interactions, because I definitely want this to be interactive. I want everybody to be able to enjoy it. So what I may do is consult a couple of friends, figure out how to do a Facebook room, and I might have, I'm thinking I would like to do at least once a month a Facebook room, because that'll give me a little bit of leg work to kind of figure out how to work it, and do a quick little test run on that, and then I will do a Facebook room on Abundant Life Tarot's website. Again, this will be with Kim's permission. I'm going to make sure that I have full approval for that before I kick that off. But I'd like to do this over a couple of months, very slowly, because again, I have limited time and spoons where I can do this, and I really do want to go through this because I am very excited to bring this deck study to you guys. So before I go into kind of format and what I'm hoping for, why don't I go ahead and give you just a quick shot of what deck I'm going to be working with. Now, if anybody knows me, you're not going to be surprised about this one. I've mentioned it before that I wanted to do a study on this. You've watched any of my videos. You know how I feel about this deck, and you know how I feel about the person who inspired it. It's the Starman Tarot. I am so happy to finally have a chance to really dig into this, because I've gotten so many powerful readings and a lot of great energy from this deck. It's a lot of fun. It is not for the faint of heart, because it can be very, very loud. And I'll do a quick flip through some of the cards here to give you an idea of what I'm talking about in a minute, just to kind of give you a little fun kind of preview. But in short, what I would like to do is just pick up like 5 cards at a time, except for when we're doing the majors. The first time I'm going to do like the first 6, so the Fool through card number 6, the Lovers, and then 5 the next time, 5 the next time, then 6 to kind of run out the majors, and then 5 each time. It's going to take us through a couple of months, but I do not have time to run through, like, do a daily thing, so I would rather do like once a week, like, okay, let's go over these 5 or 6 cards, and spend the week, in between kind of ruminating on them. And it doesn't have to be a big post. I'm not going to expect, a everybody to be posting every day, because that's not going to be a thing. It's going to be a once a week. You know, I might split up some posts between Saturdays and Sundays, and then once a month on either a Saturday or a Sunday, you know, schedule a Facebook room, again, with Kim's permission, for people to come and hang out, and we could talk about the deck a little bit. If that does not work, or winds up not being something we can manage, then, you know, I'll set it up where we can at least, you know, make comments. I'll post videos about it, at least, that you guys can comment on. I don't think I want to do a premiere, because then it's, you know, we've only got a half hour. We've got as long as the video is to hang out. In my, again, little bit of a technology limit here. I only have about a half hour for videos on my phone, and usually only about that amount of time or so to film. And I don't want to cut short any discussions or any of that. So if the room isn't possible, I may try. I only have a free Zoom, so I can't host Zoom, but I may try, you know, maybe try a live on my channel regarding it, because I've been meaning to kind of get more practice with live, so that eventually I can have more guests on my channel, because that is the goal. I eventually want to be elevating my production, my presentation, and just bringing in some more fun stuff. You know, obviously keeping in mind that this is, the YouTube part of this for me is more just a fun way to connect. So at this exact point in time, it's not, you know, something I'm going to be monetizing, or, you know, trying to turn into some, you know, Steven Spielberg winning prize or anything. It's just a fun place for us to hang out, and a way for me to get my thoughts out there, and for people to interact with me, with the decks, and with all of the other nerdy fun stuff on my channel. Now, that said, I'm really looking forward to this. I'm going to, as soon as this is, you know, finished uploading, I'll make sure everything is linked below for Kim's channel, the Facebook group, all that stuff. I'll make sure I get that linked into the video, and I'll put a link to the video in her group. Most likely in the thread of latest videos, and I may post it also on the main wall, again, with her permission. Obviously, the mods will remove it if that's not something I have permission to do, and I will reach out to Kim and see about getting permission to do some Facebook rooms, maybe try that at some point. And at the end of, like, the first little session where we talk about these cards, I will go ahead and announce, you know, kind of at that point I'll know when and if I can do it, and we'll get some dates and times and a little bit more firm grasp on this. But long story short, next Saturday or Sunday I will post a video kind of going through the first few cards, and we'll have a nice little chat about it. You guys can go crazy in the comments, and then eventually I'd like to do, like I said, a couple of just Zoom or Facebook room type things, just to talk about, you know, the book and the history of the deck, get a little more in depth with it. But before I end this video, I mean, what would it be about a tarot if I didn't show the deck? So I'll show you a few of the cards. I won't go through the whole 78, because we're going to be doing that eventually, and I've shown it a few times on the channel, and it is mass market, still available to my knowledge, so should not be too hard to get a hold of. And obviously, if you don't have the deck right away, because I know this was kind of started, announced, you know, we had a lot of start-stops, so if you don't have the deck right away, that's fine. Or if you just want to follow along because you appreciate it, that's cool too. But, you know, here's a little bit of the art just so we can appreciate it, and so I can show you kind of why some people have an issue with it. Because first of all, even the backs are very, very loud. The bright neon pink against the black. Now that is totally my aesthetic, because I am very much a neon 80s baby. But if you're not, that could be a bit of a shock. The box is very bright and all over the place. And all of the artwork is very much like that. The book, bright. Again, the black and the neon pink. And the cards are no different. As you can see, we're only going to go through a few because you're going to get a more in-depth thing later there. But as you can see, very bright, very loud, lots of, I mean, crazy amounts of energy, symbolism. I mean, you would need just, really, you could honestly spend a whole year diving on this thing, or at least a good 6 months diving into this deck and picking apart every single thing. Obviously, we're not going to be going quite that crazy with this study, because, you know, I really don't have the time to devote that kind of serious study to it. The only reason I'm kind of stretching out as long as I am is just so I don't have to try to get up super early every morning to try to film a short video like every single day. That's not going to be possible for me. But that said, I think we're going to have a great time. I love this deck, and I'm hoping I can give you guys a reason to like it too, and maybe to take a chance on some of the artwork, you know, that is crazy as it is. You know, I also know that the size of the cards is going to be a deal breaker for some people, because as you can see, just, I mean, granted my hands are not big, but they're almost longer than I am tall, you know, hands wise. You know, they're longer than my hands are tall. They're decently wide. They're at least as wide as a normal tarot card, maybe even a little longer. You know, not by much though, but it's the height that really can be kind of a sticking point. And you can't really shuffle them like this because they're long. So you really wind up having to do the, you know, that kind where you just pick it up and back and forth, which I won't do now because I have this set up in order so that we can kind of go through and study the deck. But it does shuffle really well, but not riffle. At least not for me, because I cannot. I can't with this. I can't get my hands around it. So that could potentially be a deal breaker. But it's worth it. I think it's worth it to get around that, to just delve into some of the symbolism. And it's a lot of fun. It's just kind of a funky, fun deck if you're at all into kind of the rock, anime, cyberpunky, 80s, you know, late 70s, very early 80s vibe at all. This deck is wonderful. And if it's not your bag, then maybe this is not going to be the deck for you. But either way, it is so much fun, and I'm hoping to convince people to give it a little bit of a chance. And we're just going to have a great old time with it. I would highly recommend, if you have not, give a listen to The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and The Spiders from Mars, which is one of the... You can see where that album inspired a lot of the artwork that is in this deck. I've listened to that and some of his other stuff a lot while reading with that deck. And it helps. It helps create the vibe. It helps give you a great vibe. Honestly, I'd have it on in backgrounds when we do this. But copyright. I want to get these videos taken down, so that's not going to happen. And I'm sorry. I wish it could. But that is what I'm hoping for. So that will be next Saturday, which, if I am not mistaken, will be the 11th. So either the 11th or the 12th. Either that Saturday or Sunday next week. I will have that first video up. And we'll start our journey with this. And just kind of 1 week, a few cards at a time. And however long that takes, it takes. And when we're done with the deck, we're done. And I'll be keeping you posted on if we want to do any kind of virtual get-togethers or whatever. Just kind of have nice little talk sessions about it. If we wind up not being able to do that, I'll at least set up some good threads that we can go to town with and share pictures and stories and spreads, and hopefully have a great time. So I appreciate you all. Again, thank you so much for stopping by. My name again is Sarah. This is S.L. Wyman's Rock and Writing. If you enjoy what you see here, appreciate, a like, subscribe, comment, click the bell and subscribe, all that good stuff, just to make sure you're notified. And anything like that can kind of help the algorithm not be a jerk would be appreciated. But if not, I'm just glad you stopped by long enough to watch it. And if you made it this far, I hope to see you at the tarot study. And you guys have a great day out there wherever you are, and be safe. Bye.